thought today we would start with the Phthalo Blue right here. Let's go ahead and just get a little bit. I think we'll go ahead and maybe just do up this little corner right here. I'm just doing these nice little X's right here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas. Excuse me, got a little bit of a hair there. But a 16 by 20 inch canvas. I do have white medium on here, so it is wet and slick and ready to rock and roll. And I'm gonna go ahead right now and just tap into my black. You can use whatever black you have. I'm using Mars black. And I'm gonna go ahead and let me just rub a little bit of it out. There we go. I want it kind of cloudy, a little bit misty, and I'm gonna let that white medium work for me, and just blend this in there. There we go. There we go. And I'm just gonna keep going because there was a lot of paint on here, and so let that medium work for you. I am using Bob Ross liquid white for today. And I hope you're doing great. It's been a long time. It's been probably a month since the last painting, so really looking forward to this. Figured let's go ahead and slap some paint on this canvas and around the palette and just start going to town. So I'm just trying to make this nice and a little bit misty and cloudy. And there we go. I'm gonna go into that blue. There we go. There we go. There. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and probably just tap with the top corner into some white here. Just with the top corner, tap, 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 tap. I just want to make this a little bit more cloudy. There we go. And maybe we'll have some stuff like so. And I'll tap in a little bit more and then just come over here. I mean, you can barely see it, but at least you know it's there. You know it's there. Just keep tapping into that blue there just to make it a little bit more misty. Oh, a little hair. There we go. Knock off some of that paint. And I'm going to go ahead and just blend this real quick. Real soft, just doing these nice little X's. There we go. There you go. Just blend it. And you got some nice variation going on between the blue and the gray and the white. There we go. It has been a while. It's been a long time since we've been face to face, so hope you're doing great on that side. I'm doing awesome over here. It's been working. So lots of fun. I'm gonna go ahead right now and I'm just gonna mix up a little bit of color. So I'm gonna use a palette knife. I'm gonna grab a bit of this white here. I'm gonna put it there, and a little bit. It might be a little bit too much black. There we go. We want like a kind of a gray color. I'm gonna mix it. It don't matter. And I'm gonna add just a touch of that blue into there, so it's got a kind of a blue tint to it. There we go. And let me clean that awesome knife that I have, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use my filbert brush and load this up with both sides, and let's go ahead and rock and roll. Okay, so basically I'm just gonna have this kind of a mountain in the background. We're gonna do just a couple mountains and some trees and make everything look pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and do something like this, and I'm gonna kind of break it off there, and just like that. I got barely any paint on here, and I'm just gonna do this kind of rocket a little motion like this, and it will give you all this different action there. You don't have to really do much. There we go. Now I want that little break right there. That little break. I'm gonna get a little bit more color here. There we go. And I'm just gonna pull down like so. There we go. I want this far in the distance, so I want I want it nice and misty, real misty. And let me go up, maybe get some of that color off. There we go. And we'll come over here and do something like this. And same thing, just doing kind of this little bit of a rock in motion. There we go. And maybe something back here. And maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more like that, maybe. Get a little bit more of that color. There we go. You can put row after row with all these mountains, as long as you just make sure you keep it nice, and as you're going back, make it lighter. As you're going forward, make it a little bit darker. But there we go, do something like that. I'm gonna put this down, I'm gonna grab my 2-inch brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this out. There we go. Just pull that out like so. And same thing here. I'm just gonna kind of push it into the canvas. Real soft. We just want to ask you to work with this. Ask you to work with us. All right, Mr. Canvas. There we go. There you go, Mr. Canvas. And as you can tell, it's got a nice misty thing going. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. I'm gonna just grab a fan brush and go into a little bit. Just a little bit of the white here. Pull it down, and we'll have, and I'm just doing tight little circles. So maybe we'll have a kind of a cloud going, working that way. Maybe we'll have a cloud going that way. There we go. There we go. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it comes around and kind of goes that way. There we go. I'll put that down, grab that same brush, and 2-inch brush, and just real softly, just underneath it, just so it can kind of mist everything out a little bit. There we go. There we go. I'm going to put that down. Little palette knife. I'm going to pull out some of this white. And I have it, let me grab it over here, just so it can mix it a little bit. I don't want it super white. I want it a little bit grayed down. And I just want to put just a tiny, sorry, there we go. Just a tiny little highlight here. And I'm just rubbing it. That's all I'm doing. Just rubbing it in there. Just take it, you touch, and just rub it in there. And it'll give you a small little highlight. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something over here. You can just, there you go. Just for fun, there's this little mountain back here. And same thing, I'm just rubbing it so you can barely tell the detail, but you know that there's something there, okay? I'm gonna clean that knife. I'm gonna grab that same 2-inch brush, and I'm just gonna, there we go. Just make sure it's nice and misty. I'm just doing the little X's. There you go. Back to the filbert brush. I'm gonna go right into my burnt umber right here. Oh, I forgot, I hope you saw the colors earlier in the show. I forgot to say I was running them. And of course, I want to thank you so very much if you're tuning in and checking this out. And thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate it. So we're going to take some of this brown here, and we're going to go ahead and just put it in something else. Another type of mountain, but with brown, okay? Using the filbert brush. And I'll do something like so. Maybe this comes in like that, and we'll put it that way. And then we grab a little bit more here. We'll just, there you go. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and color this in here. And I'm going to add, I'm going to go into this brown here. I'm going to add a touch of this red. So some brown and a touch of your red. There we go. Give it a different color. There we go. And there you go. I'm just filling it in. That's all I'm doing. Just filling it in. There we go. All right, let me put that down. I'm going to grab that 2-inch brush and let's go ahead and get this pulled out. There we go. Same thing here. There we go. And same thing, real soft. I'm going to go over this just so it can kind of blend it, mist it. See how just by fading it, just by going over and over, it just misses it out for you. There we go. There we go. Let me put that down, and I'm going to grab that palette knife, and I'm going to just play around a little bit. I'm going to go into some of the same color. Remember that was a little bit of the brown and the red mixed into there. Pull it. And I'm going to go ahead. Now I'm going to actually, excuse me, I'm going to pull it. I'm going to do the back side. It's a little bit easier sometimes. And I'm just going to come in. And start to do a little bit of that rubbing motion there. Rubbing there. I'm sure you can hear it. There we go. Just a little bit right there. And I'm going to go ahead and clean that. And I'm going to go ahead and just pull out some of this white paint. So pull some down. Grab yourself a little bit. And I'm going to come in. And same thing. Just rub it. That's all you got to do. Just rub it. And it'll give you detail, and you haven't done much. And there you go. And you just rub that in there. And that's probably a little bit too bright. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of just play with it a little bit. There we go. And you get all this different stuff. Get all this different stuff. Let me go pull a little bit of the white here. Might make it a little bit easier. Just grab some of that white and some of this color here. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that brown in there. See, you get different variations, and all I'm doing is just playing with the color, okay? You get different variations, so just grab a little bit, and you just come in, and that's it. And all I'm doing is scrubbing it, and that's it. And I can come in and grab a little bit of the dark and come back in, which is the brown color. And you can give it a little bit more detail. Look at that. There we go. See? And then I'll just for the fun, come over here. Same thing. And there you go. Get some different textures, different things going on. And we go ahead and use the same brush, except Let me go ahead and tap into it, just a touch of this white here, just a touch. And then just a little bit of the white, just a little bit. And there we go. And it's still a little bit too detailed, so I'm just gonna very softly. I mean, I'm very like a whisper, just like a whisper. There you go. Very soft, very soft. There you go. Come over here. And there you go. All right. Now I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna go into straight black. I'll come over here and grab a little bit of the brown. I'll just mix it right here. We're just gonna make a darker color here. And then we'll just come in here and make ourselves a nice little mountain. Just a small guy. There we go. Like I said, just nice little small one. Nice little small one. I'll wipe that off. I'm gonna grab that filbert brush. Let me wipe some of that paint off. Yeah, I'm gonna come in with the filbert brush because I just want to. There we go. Let me get some of that darker color on there because I still had some of that brown. But I just want to come in and there we go. Just so we have it there. There we go. All right. There we go. Wipe that down. Grab that same 2-inch brush. It's getting pretty dirty at this point, but hey. Yeah, I'm gonna come in and just start pulling that down. There we go. There you go. All right, let me put that down. Let me grab that palette knife. And I'm gonna go into white, straight down. Grab yourself a nice roll and come in and just make yourself a little bit of a mountain there. There you go. Some nice highlights. There we go, something like that. Maybe something over here. We'll go ahead and just rub in that highlight. There we go. Just rub that highlight in there. See that? Isn't that awesome? And well, just for the fun of it, let's just, there we go. Just rub that in there. Just rub that in there. Look at the detail you get from that. Isn't that pretty cool? I think it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and grab some white. We'll go ahead and use a touch of that blue in there and a touch of this color that we're using for this mountain. And it gives us a nice little off color there. Maybe something like so. And same thing, just come in and just rub that in there. And you see that? Get some really nice detail. You're not doing much this time. You're not worried about breaking so much as you are just rubbing that paint in there. There you go. And I'll just come over just for fun. just for fun. There we go. There we go. And then you can add a little bit of white. Sorry, there we go. And it can come in just like that. Just like that. And a little bit of the black. Actually, we'll use the same dark color here. Same dark color, and just rub that in there. Just rub that in there. And then we'll add a little bit, just a little bit over here. There we go. That'll attach a touch of that brown, just a little bit of that burnt umber, just a little bit in there. There we go. And I'll just go right back and touch it one more time with the white. So you can just do layer after layer after layer, and that's the luxury of having a nice thick paint. Got to make sure you have a nice good thick paint, and you can just pop all these layers, layer after layer after layer. I mean, it just doesn't end. Just doesn't end. All right, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go ahead and use the brush. I'm gonna tap into a little bit of the white, just a little bit of the white here. And very softly. There we go. There you go. There you go. And maybe a little bit. Something like that. Maybe you can mist it a little bit more over here. There we go. With your clean 2-inch brush, I'm going to go ahead and just pull some of the Sap Green out and tap into it. Just tap right into it. And we're going to start just tapping. See the angle of the mountain, okay? And just tap. And just tap. And you'll get all this. There we go. There we go. And I'll put that down. And I'll use that same brush we've been using this whole time to mist everything out. And same thing. All right, there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and use some black, okay, and some green, some black and some green. And I want to darken this, basically darken it up. And I want to make myself a little, just a little guide. And just go ahead and fill that right on in. And just be careful not to use too much paint here, because you'll have a problem trying to get stuff to stick a little bit later on. But I just want some dark dark color. Oh, hair. Give me 1 second here. And just a little bit darker. There you go. Let me put that down. I'm going to go ahead and mix some color. I'm going to use my palette knife, and I'm going to grab a big old amount of this black here, and equal amount of the blue, and equal amount of the green. And let me go ahead. I'll put this right there. Let me clean a spot here. Give me 1 second. And then scoop that back over here. All right, there you go. So black, blue, green, pretty much an equal amount. All right, and I'm gonna grab my number 3 fan brush. I'm gonna go ahead and load up into this color here. And I'm gonna start putting in, just putting in some pine trees for right now, and then we'll go ahead and try to get some stuff defined. And I'm just gonna pull it right into the dark here, okay? And same thing, just get yourself some color, and we'll just try to fill this in for now, and we'll go back and do what we can. Here we go. So you got a nice little forest here going. There we go. There we go. All right, and so I want to load up real nice, and we're going to start just putting in some trees. Maybe we'll put one right there. A little bit darker up top. There we go. And I'm going to get, give me 1 second. I'm going to get a drip, just a drip of some paint thinner, because we're going to have some paint. There's some paint to go over. Not too much, just a little bit. And then I'm going to come in and just touch, and just start to work those awesome arms out. There you go. So you can tap straight down and just kind of move the arms out, and it should do it for you. It is always a little tricky to learn pine trees. I'm not going to kid you. It takes a little bit, but once you have them down, you pretty much have them down. You can do all different types of pine trees. I mean, there's tons of different ways. All right, so tap, and then just make sure you pop those arms out. There you go. There we go. Right down to the dark there, okay? And then do something like that. Maybe, excuse me, just need to chisel that a little bit, and then there you go. All right, I'm gonna add just another drop. What's nice about your paint thinner is it evaporates, so you just need a couple of drops. Drop here, drop there, good to go. Let's, I don't know, let's put a nice big guy right there. And there we go. Remember, just come down. If you want, you can always, I've done this before, you can go straight down. See? Straight down. And then just pop your arms out here, there. There you go. And remember, this is just the shadow. It's the dark stuff, so you don't really have to worry about too much detail here. There you go, all the way down. And we'll put something right there. There we go. Let's think about maybe some other ones over here. Maybe something like that. There we go. Load up, maybe. There we go. There we go. Just pretty much figure out where you like them and just drop them. Just drop them. What's nice about this is you're going to do a bunch of them. So maybe the first one or two or three might be a little rough. Maybe the rest of them will be a little bit easier. Okay, especially with this because you're only worrying about the shadow right now. There's no major detail. No major detail. There we go. There we go. Maybe 1 second. I'm just going to add another drop. Just another drop. So we can do something like that. There we go. Maybe one more. Just one more. There we go. And let me go ahead and just use my liner brush. Now I'm going to go ahead, I have this same kind of mountainy color there. I'm going to go ahead and just use that for my tree trunks. Just using a nice dry liner brush. And I'm going to come in. There we go. Something like so. And maybe something like that, something like that. Maybe we'll just something like so. Wherever you want them. Let's do that, do that. Something like that. There you go. And then you can come in and put a little twigs and branches here or there. We'll go ahead and probably pop a couple with the palette knife as well. This will allow you to have some fun here. Just play a little bit. There we go. Get little branches and twigs that are popping out of this guy here. Something like that. Clean that real quick. Yeah, just grab a palette knife, don't matter, large one, big one. You just touch the blue or the dark here. And you can just come on up and it'll give you, there you go. And I'm not scraping, I'm just touching and pulling up, okay? You can get a couple of scrapes if you like. You can go up with them. You can go down. There we go. Don't matter, okay? Put that down. And let's go ahead and start to highlight. And I'm going to do the shadow side first. So I'm going to go into, I'll grab a little bit of, just a little bit of the white. And some of the green. And a little bit of the black. There we go. I want kind of like an off, a little bit of an off color here. So it's like in between. I don't know if you can see that. It's in between this and what the shadow is going to be, or with the highlight. So this is going to be the shadow. And we'll do this just for a couple of trees. I mean, we don't have to do it for everyone. But I'm going to grab a little bit of that white medium, and we're going to load up. And I'm going to come in. I'm going to start touching the left side. Just touch. Okay, just here or there. Load up. You just come in, you touch, and just pull a little bit to the left, and then leave it nice and dark down there. Okay, and this is the shadow. You're going to barely see this, but we want it there. Just helps things. There we go. Maybe something like that. There we go. All right. I don't know if it's coming out. I'm assuming it is. I'll find out when I do the editing, but there you go. I'm just touch, moving to the left. That's it, okay? Just touch and moving to the left. There we go. And maybe we'll do it here. And same thing here. And maybe this one. And we'll leave it. Okay, that's it. Let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit here. All right, now I'm going to go into my yellow here. With there's just a touch of that green. And we'll have a highlight color here. I'm going to add a little bit of the white medium. And let's see how bright this comes out, because it might be a little bit too bright. Let me just add just a touch more of that green there. All right, and then we're going to go into touch and work the right side. So touch. Okay, and all I'm doing is, if you can see that as a touch, let me load up. It was a little bit light, but look, touch, see, and I'll just, and that's it. Okay, and same thing. I'll hit here first, just to kind of darken the paint here. Same thing, touch. There we go. And that's it. Same thing here. Okay. This is a nice, easy way to highlight, to be honest, because you're not, I know it's always hard, especially when you're first trying out, but this is actually not too bad, okay? Because all you're doing is touch, move, you see what I'm saying? And then you get all your highlight, okay? And then something like that. There we go. Make sure you keep it dark on the bottom, and it's real, you start to get really into it and then you forget and you kind of overdo it. So let me add just a touch of that medium just to thin this out. It's a little bit too thick, but same thing. Look at touch, and that's it. There we go. Maybe we'll just do up this one last one here just because. There you go. And you got a nice row of trees right there. Nice beautiful row of trees. 1-inch brush. I'm going to go ahead and dip into my white medium. And I want to go ahead and just put a little bit of, I don't know, a couple little bushes or something. So I'm just going to go right into my yellow ochre, a little touch of that Indian yellow. Get a nice beautiful color. There we go. And I'm just going to come in, just tap in a couple little bushes, okay? Straight down with it, turn, and you'll come in and you just hit very softly, and you'll get some nice colors here. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just dip a little bit more into that medium. I'm going to go right into just straight Indian yellow and a touch of that red. Maybe a little bit more, a little at a time. Get a nice color here. There we go. Let's light the world up here, okay? Maybe we'll do something. There we go. Just like that, okay? I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll just go into a little bit of the yellow here. I'm probably messing my colors up, but add a little bit more of the dark green here. Get some green up in here. And just give me 1 second here. Let's get a little bit of that medium. There we go. And same thing. Just this way you get some green in here. Same thing here. There you go. So you get some nice foliage right there in the front. I'm going to go ahead and use my, I think I'm going to go ahead and use the filbert brush. I'm going to go into my yellow here and a touch of the green. There we go. Get a nice green color here. And I'm going to go ahead and start having fun. And I'm going to start just kind of filling this in a little bit here. Now I'm going to add a little bit of white just to lighten it up so it comes out. There we go. There we go. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. There we go. And it just gives me a little bit of color. And I'm gonna grab this, kind of just smooth it out a little bit. All right, and I'm gonna grab some more white here. I'm gonna go into my yellow with a touch of that green. And maybe just a touch of that, paint thinner. Just a touch of that paint thinner. And there we go. There you go. And just start here and work your way back. There we go. There you go. And it gives you like these just different textures there, as you can tell. So you got it where it's nice and smooth, and then over here you got some dark. darker, longer type of grass. I'm going to tap into here just to get some shadow up in here. There you go. Maybe a little bit more over here, and then you can play back and forth. So now you got the dark in there, so you can play back and forth. You can go back into your lighter color, add a little bit. There you go, and you can just come in and there you go, and maybe a little bit of the white. There you go. See that? I'm just using the 2-inch brush and just tapping. And you're able to get all these different things right there. And I'm going to just have a little bit of fun. I'm going to use my fan brush, dip into a little bit of the white medium. And you can come in and just touch here, there. There you go. You can get yourself like a little bit of wildflowers, basically. You just touch here, there, very softly. Very softly. And you can get yourself a little flowers here, there. And if you want to have fun, you can dip into a little bit of your medium. You can go into red. There we go. Kind of open it up. And you can come in and put in some red flowers. There you go. And let me go ahead and clean that. Give me 1 second. And same thing, I want to dip into some white medium. And I'm going to go right into my blue. Same thing, open it up. There we go. And just tap here, there. And you can get some blue flowers as well. And then one last thing before we go, just want to have a little fun with my liner brush. I'm going to grab the little liner brush. And I'm going to go into that brown mixture that we had and the highlight. So brown on one side, let me see if I can do it. Brown on one side, a little bit lighter on the other. Of course I got some stuff going on, but I just want some stuff there. I'm going to go ahead and just go straight dark. It'll be a lot easier. So a little bit of paint thinner into a dark color. I'm going to go into this brownish color I have here, and then let's go ahead and have some fun real quick. Maybe this one. There we go. There we go. There we go, something like that. Just put a little bit of highlight on there. I'm going to go into that same color that we used, just a little bit of a highlight. There we go. And I'm going to dip into the white medium. Oops, always hit stuff. Can't be a complete painting without it. And let's go ahead and just maybe put in some flowers. Something like so. Maybe something right here. There we go. It's always tough for me to do stuff like this because of my hands being so shaky, but you do the best that you can do. And I'll just put one for fun right there. And I'm going to come in and dip into that white medium again. And I'm going to go into my Indian yellow, yellow ochre mixture here. Get yourself some of that color. And you're going to come in and just put a little dot. Little dot. Little dot. Maybe to make it stick out a little bit more, let's go ahead with just straight red. Maybe it'll stick out a little bit better. And let's put the dot right there. And there you go. Just little wildflowers and stuff, just having fun. So with that, I'm going to go ahead, dip into that medium one more time. And I'm going to go right here and sign this up. Remember, make sure that paint is thin. It should slide over everything. And I want to thank you so very much, as always, for tuning in and checking us out. Hopefully you're able to learn something today and hopefully have some success. So until next time, I want to wish you the best. Please take care of yourself and stay safe. Thank you.